with me. Hi, how you doing? Anyway, so the boardroom.jp or boardroom.jp would have been good, but .jps are more expensive, so that's not going to happen. But so what this is about is I think it would be really cool to be able to actually, the goal is, what I want to do is bring people to Osaka and have them play board games. And I happen to have one of the games that I'm going to be playing, which is Love Letters, and this is the Batman edition. And I just saw the Book of Five Rings edition, which is kind of more Japan based, so I might get that one too. Although the markers for this one are pretty awesome. Almost everybody online that plays this plays with the Batman one, because how cool is that, really? You know, right? So it's pretty awesome. So yeah, we'll probably play some Love Letters, and because that's an easy one to explain, and it's an easy one to get going, and it doesn't take a whole lot of extra stuff to get moving on it. And as far as the language aspect of it, it'll be easier to find people who can play it in the second language, as opposed to you know, things like Pandemic and stuff like that are really complicated and difficult to get through in the second language. So and even, you know, the turn taking on it is going to be will be challenging. So we'll see how that goes. But Tokaido will be good, and all that stuff will be good as well. So yeah, it'll be fun. The campaign is going very slowly. It's a little discouraging, but that's all right. Main thing is get the idea out there, and regardless of what happens with the Indiegogo campaign, whether we raise any money at all or absolutely none, doesn't matter. I'm gonna do as much as I can anyway. It would just be better, and I can put more production stuff behind it if we can raise the money. If we can't, then I'll do what I can do, and you can probably go check it out on the Chillin' Kansai channel, because I don't know if I'm going to bother with the boardroom thing, because keeping two channels up on YouTube these days, some people do it, but because I have the boardroom set up as a completely separate thing, I'll probably let it go. But I'm going to give it some time, and we're going to give it a shot, and if we can make it, great, and if we can't, then no big deal. Then we just go back to doing things the way we were doing before. But Indiegogo seems like it's a pretty cool platform, and I know there's a ton of people out there who are interested in board games. And so, you know, it was worth a shot if people are interested in it. And I've gotten, in 5 days, we got about 350 people. By the time this is done, probably 400 people looking at the site. Wow, this is really bad here. I shouldn't have that there. Oh well, I don't care. Had maybe 350 people, 400 people looking at the site and the Indiegogo campaign, and not supporting it, but at least looking at it. So getting in front of 400 people is pretty good. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go, then it doesn't go. It's not that big of a deal. We'll figure something else out. Now, I have learned a lot about setting up the campaigns and stuff now. And one of the keys is to kind of get momentum going before the campaign starts, which I did not do. And that's going to probably be one of the problems with it. So if we can get it moving, then it won't be a problem, and it'll just mean a slow start. And I think we'll probably just be on with a slow start, and that'll be good enough. So, but the games that we're going to play, I took some pictures of them, and they're in some of the updates, and they're fun. They're great games, and fairly decent for non-native speakers of any language. Love Letters is probably the easiest one. Dixit is going to be more complicated because of the vocabulary involved, but because it's primarily a verbal game, then I think that that one will be pretty good to play regardless. In the classes that I've taught that have used it, it's been a fairly popular game, and students seemed to enjoy it quite a bit. So that's good. And I think that it's a great game to play. And because it can kind of adapt to the vocabulary levels of the people who are playing it. So I think that'll be exciting to try and do, and we'll see how that goes. So that'll be good. It'll be fun. Let's see. The problem with being a YouTuber is, or a small YouTuber, is that everything comes at sort of the last second. And so, yeah. So, we'll see what happens. So no questions yet. So the idea, the big idea, what I really want to do, what I really want to do is put together a studio like the YouTube space down here in Osaka, but kind of remove some of the restrictions that the YouTube space has on it. Allow basically anybody to come in and use it. And the idea would be to have the boardroom as kind of the anchor for that. You can come in and use the studio, and you know, every once in a while you'll be asked to play a game, and that'll be one of the ways that the studio kind of helps support itself. Otherwise, we could do a split with the people who are using the studio, or you could just rent the studio and the equipment available, making sure the equipment is available. It could be, because Kansai is a big area and there's a bunch of people around that have YouTube channels, and it would be really exciting to have a place where they could meet on a fairly regular basis. The problem with the YouTube space in Tokyo is, one, it's in Tokyo, and that doesn't do people outside of Tokyo any good. Nagoya is only an hour by Shinkansen from here, 2 hours, 3 hours by car, so it'd be doable. And if I was gonna start with the Indiegogo for 500,000, and the idea would be using the boardroom to actually put a start on the studio as well, and have the boardroom kind of focused to get that moving. But maybe next time around. We'll see, but maybe next time around. But anyway, you know, have a space in Kansai where people can come in and do stuff, and then we'd have a base of operations, and then we'd have people be able to have some decent equipment to be able to come in and learn about and use, and have people come in and talk and teach about how they've put together their YouTube channels or Vimeo channels or any sort of video projects at that point. And I'd still like to do that. I would like to figure out a better way to get all of that stuff together. I would totally do it out of pocket if my pockets were that big, but they're not. And so trying to get that squared up, a little depressing, a little distressing, but it's all right. It'll work. Oh, there's a new control room. All right. But we might be able to do sorry. But yeah, we might, who knows? There's a lot of interesting things going on and out and about and around and stuff. And I think that if I can hurry up and finish my doctoral dissertation, which I should be working on now, if I can get that done, then it will free up more time and a little bit of money to be able to start moving towards that idea of a studio in Kyoto or Osaka. I'd really like, Osaka is probably most convenient because Kyoto's out on kind of the edge, and Kyoto's kind of a pain in the butt to get into and out of, and Osaka's a little bit easier to get into and out of. Although Osaka's big enough to where then no matter where you put it in the city, there's going to be a problem to get there. So Kyoto's nice because it's a little smaller physically and a little easier to get to. You know, if you are pull into Kyoto Station, you can get anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the city for a cab ride. Maybe not the cheapest cab ride, but at least it's doable. Whereas pulling into Osaka Station, if somebody's down in Namba or even Minami, farther down in Minami, that cab ride would be kind of prohibitive. So we'll see. I don't know. But you know, that's all pipe dream stuff. So ideally, what we want to do is set up a studio and bring people in, put them up at a nice hotel or a minshuku or a ryokan or something like that. Have them come and we'll play games for a day, and then be able to put those games, put the video for those games out in English and Japanese. So those of you who are studying Japanese can learn, use that as a practice thing, and double check your understanding of the language and stuff like that. And for those of you who are studying English, the same thing. It will give you a conversation that has a basis, that's something that you'll be able to see real interactions between real people, and use that as a starting point to, well, a continuation point to be able to really get your head around what the conversation's about and why people are making the discussion choices or discourse choices that they are. So it's very exciting. So everybody go, if you will, go over to Indiegogo or igg.me at the boardroom XYZ. Any help that you can offer would be great and greatly appreciated. The Emma I think are really cool, and nobody's used those as a perk that I've ever seen. So if you know of any, please let me know, either down in the comments here on YouTube or out over on the comment section on the Indiegogo site. And let me know, because if somebody else is doing it, then I want to know who's doing it. So I still think that's a pretty cool thing and stuff like that. So let's see what else. Yeah, if people aren't interested, let me know what kind of perks that you would be interested in, and I can see about getting that stuff set up. Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities. Hopefully everything will come together, and if it doesn't, I'm not going to stress out about it. So but I will be back at some point and talk to you all again. And so go check the links down in the description, and they'll kick you over to the Indiegogo site, as well as just go to the Indiegogo site and see what's there and see what options are there for the boardroom to help out and make this a cool thing. So, all right, have a good one. I think that's going to be it. I've run on for about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. There's no timer on this. That kind of sucks. Okay. Yeah, so since there's no timer on it, I'm out. I will talk to you later. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Boom.